All right, we are recording. Welcome to our Soaring Strong Monday night call. Thank you so much to those of you that are here live. I'm excited that you have made this a priority in your business. And if you are watching the call back, I hope that you enjoy the content that we have to share tonight. I don't have a lot of announcements. I don't have a lot of shout outs tonight. I just really want to get into the content of this call because we have a lot of really awesome stuff to talk about. And our goal tonight is to really just simplify your business, to really simplify what you are doing to make it doable and to just so you're taking the action to make it happen and to move things forward. I do want to remind you that we do have Super Saturday this weekend. Who's going to be at Super Saturday this weekend? I would love to see some hands raising. Awesome. Yay. And I'm so excited that Carl is going to be in Indy, which is awesome. And those of us that are diamond and above get a special training with him afterwards. If you have never been in a room with Carl before and you can't make it to Indy, Summit, like you've got to be at Summit, because being in a room with Carl, I really cannot explain how it will change your mindset about this business. Whenever you see a CEO that is as passionate as he is, and it was after my husband heard him the first time that he said, okay, let's do this. Like, this is legit. This is awesome. This guy rocks. And we move forward with the business at that point in time. His mission for this business is true. Like, that is exactly why he created Beachbody, and he is true to it. And you can see his passion for wanting to help other people. I want to give a surprise shout out to Lindsay Roart. She did not know this is coming. If you did not know this, Lindsay Roart is a belly flopping champion. FYI, this girl belly flopped on the cruise, and she was the only girl. It was a competition just for men, and Lindsay went up and said, I don't know what this is about, and I think you're kind of being a little bit sexist, and I want to join this belly flopping contest. And she was the only woman to do it, and she got a medal. She placed. So a huge shout out to our very own Soaring Strong belly flopping winner. Awesome, Lindsay. My girls watched that on repeat in the room over and over and over again because they played it on the cruise TV, like the belly flopping contest, over and over again. And the girls just kept watching. There's Lindsay. There's Lindsay. So for those of you that weren't on the cruise with us, I really hope that you are working so hard. I hope that you had major FOMO while we were there and that you are going to work your butts off to join us next year, because we had the time of our lives. And that is, there were 4 of us there, and that's the most Soaring Strong coaches that have been on a Success Club cruise together. And it was a lot of fun. Our husbands were there. My girls were there. Lisa's husband, Marty, is now known as Grandpa Marty. And we have Uncle Mike and Uncle Rich, and they've like nicknamed everybody. So they had a blast with them too. We just really had a great time bonding and spending the week with each other, belly flopping, having fun, drinking awesome pina coladas that the ship made. So I hope again that you are really working hard to make it and get there with us next week. Next year. You have to hit Success Club. That's what it takes. It takes hitting Success Club, and you have to start now, and you have to hit it every single month, and it has to be a non-negotiable. It can't be I'm going to hit Success Club and then you don't hit Success Club. If you want to be on these trips with us, you have to hit Success Club. That is all that I have done to get, I think this was my 5th one. I went on the very first one, and I've been every time since. That is all you have to do is hit Success Club. So with that being said, Sarah, you're starting us off, right? Is Sarah starting us off? Yes, I'm going to hand it over to Sarah, and she is going to start this call off.
I am. Hey, everybody. So I'm really excited about our topics tonight, about just simplifying the whole process. And what I love is that, and as just a little disclaimer, my kids are still awake and they're upstairs, but I think they're quieted down now. If you hear some screaming or yelling, and that's just normal, to be honest. Okay, so what I love about what we do is that the number one way to simplify and embrace what we do is to be on our own journey, right? That's where we start. And as I was thinking about this today behind my desk at my job, I thought, what 9-to-5 job or full-time job or retail job or anywhere like that is going to tell you that the number one thing you have to do is make sure that you're happy and healthy? I mean, it's really, it's extremely unique. And we're lucky that we are in a situation where that's the first thing we want to focus on, is making sure that we are on our own journey and that we are not only using that for our business, to build our business, but to make sure that we're getting the most out of our days here, right? Like, that's why we're here. So, when I say be on your own journey, I'm talking about products, I'm talking about results, I'm talking about personal development. As coaches, we hold ourselves to a higher standard, right? We have said, I'm a coach, I'm going to be accountable. I have clients that are watching me. I have other coaches. I have cousin coaches. I have uplines. As a coach, we stand up and say, I am holding myself to a higher level. And I've even had coaches tell me that. I feel like being a coach makes me more accountable. It's absolutely true for me too. That doesn't mean we have to be perfect. That doesn't mean that we don't mess up and we aren't human. And that is huge. So for me, whenever I think back to where I have failed before on my journey, it's because I messed up. You know, I would think I needed to be perfect. And then, I screwed up and ate like a box of cereal, which I just did earlier. And I'm probably going to post on it sometime this week. And, and you know, like, that's real life. So for us to be on our journey doesn't mean we have to be perfect, but it does mean that we have to be consistent. Okay. So we have to do things like use our products, right? We have to drink our Shakeology every day. We have to try out the new products that come out. Right? Fruit Punch Energize. I don't like Fruit Punch, you guys. Whatever. I didn't like pumpkin either. I got the pumpkin spice Shakeology. I mean, we have to be, and we can say that, right? Like, this isn't my favorite, but man, I've got clients that love pumpkin or whatever. You know what I mean? But we have to be testers of our own products. Do you ever get cold market invites that say, hey girl, can I ask you a question? And then you say, yeah, what? And they say, would you share something on your page about a product and I'll give you free or whatever, you know? And my answer, first of all, is always, no, I'm a Beachbody coach. But it's like, I would never share something and expect somebody else to use something that I'm not doing myself. I'm not going to put my name out there for something that I'm not also using. So we have to be proof of the products working, which in turn brings us results. Okay. And I know there's coaches that start this journey and they think, I have a lot of weight to lose, so maybe I can't share my journey yet. Absolutely not true, right? We want people that are relatable to be on our team. So I've already kind of covered that. But maybe you're somebody who's always been healthy and fit. You know, there's that too. And you go, well, I don't have a progress photo. But you do. I bet you do. From day 1 to day 21, if you follow a program, you're going to see a difference. But you don't have to only talk about those physical transformations. You can talk about your mindset. You can talk about your health, what this has brought to your family. So we all have journeys that aren't always physical, right? And I think as coaches, we have to tap into that because different people are going to relate to different parts of our journey. We're in different seasons. Everybody kind of cycles through different seasons, and you never know when you're going to hit with somebody and relate with somebody that's in that season where you are. You don't have to be perfect or relatable, but at the same time, I think sometimes we forget to also have fun with it, right? We get so serious in following a calendar and our, in our posts and our workouts and our selfies that we forget sometimes that people want to see us having fun, and we are having fun. Like, we are having such a blast. So don't forget to share that part of your journey too, because that's part of it, enjoying the process, right? We want to, speaking about being simplified, there's some very simple things we can do as coaches. 1, we follow a calendar. We follow the freaking workout calendar. How successful are our challengers that don't follow a calendar, that just randomly turn on bot and go, I think I'm going to do this today. It doesn't work, right? We know that. It can work, but it's not as result driven as if you follow the calendar. So we need to follow our calendars. We need to do the containers. Okay. If you've been following 2B mindset, that's great. You can take some of those principles, but use the containers now, because that's where our business is moving. And that is what you need to learn and be able to share. You know, even Autumn says in the portion fix, she says every coach needs to try all 3 versions of these paths so you can share those with people. All right. So use that as part of your journey. I did carb cycling before the trip because I've never done it before. And I thought this was a good chance to just try it out and do it. You can do it for 3 months. I did it for a week. I got an idea about it, and I'm able to share about that. Use your Shakeology daily. Like I said, use the products. You don't always have to post every single day that I did my Shakeology today. I did my workout today. But personally, you need to be doing these things so that you're getting the results, so that you can share that with people and, in your one-on-one conversations about how it's helped you, and once again, relate to people. And really the main reason you want to be on your journey is to bring it all together, right? You want to bring together your personal results. You've got to have those results to share, and that will help your business. So by having, all of those pieces, that's going to help you personally. That's why you started this in the first place, right? Was to get results for yourself, and that's going to help your business. The other way that you need to, number 4 would be, to simplify is with your challenge groups. You want to make sure that you don't need to just post on social every day that you're drinking Shakeology, but you need to be logging it in your challenge groups. Your challengers need to see you doing these things, okay? If someone says to me, my clients just start hanging on, I don't know what's going on, or they're not getting results, my first question always is, are you sharing that you're doing it, right? They're gonna go with the pace of the leader. So you want to make sure that you're doing all of those things that you expect them to do as well. And of course, you want to time and schedule and plan everything, just like you would for your business. You want to do that for your journey too. You need to meld it all together so that your journey is part of your business. This is all one, right? It's our life, right? This is what we're doing. It all comes together. So don't only plan one thing and not the other. We have to be very intentional. And I actually talked about this weekend. I took a nap on Sunday because I needed rest. So it's also important to make sure part of your journey is self-care, is taking care of yourself. It's not just the workouts and the shakes, but you also have to have that rest. I schedule the rest in, so make sure that you're remembering to do that. So let me look at my notes here to see if there's anything that I'm missing here before I hit the last point, which is something that's really exciting, and I'm sure you've heard about it. We have something happening called Fit Wars, which everything I just talked about kind of comes into this, right? Fit Wars is a coach-only group that we're doing. You can be discount coach, you can be working coach, whatever. But we are doing this for coaches only. And what I love about it is it's a contest that we're doing together. It's not only based on like SC points or only based on, did you do power hour a day? It's for results. It's for us to be on our journey. That's exactly what this is for. So I think that that's going to be really exciting and fun. Just a way for coaches to not only talk business, but we're just doing the workouts together, right? And we know, it's kind of like having a super Saturday for 12 weeks, when we're all like in that same room and that energy virtually. So if you aren't in Fit Wars yet, make sure you do that. It's only $5 to buy and you can win some money, even if you don't think about everything you're going to get out of that. I love larger groups too, when we have a lot of coaches in there, because we just bring the energy, and that can then move over. You can get ideas that can move over into your client challenge groups too. All right. I think that's it. I think Megan's next. No, Lindsay's next.
Lindsay's next. Yeah. Awesome, Sarah. Thank you. So honestly, just to wrap up everything she said, like, you have to do your workouts and drink your shake. Like, that's the gist of it. If you want to have a successful business, you have to be a proof of the product. It doesn't work if you're not a proof of the product. Also, I wanted to add, because when she was talking, it reminded me of the National Wake Up Call. If you have not listened to today's two days National Wake Up Call, it was really good. really good. And she really talked about when Sarah said, like, show them that you're having fun, like, show them how much fun this is. We don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about how much fun our challenge groups are enough. And that is what keeps us here. That's what we love about this so much. The workouts, the shakes, it's all awesome, but we love this community. We have to show them that. And she talked about how if you're not running your own challenge group, if you don't have your own success stories with your customers yet, what to do. So I don't want to go into it anymore. Go listen to it because she did a great job. So if you have, first of all, you should be listening to every National Wake Up Call. But if you haven't listened to today's, make sure that it's on your radar and that you listen to it. It was really good. All right, Lindsay, your turn.
All right. So tonight I wanted to talk to you all about just being consistent on social media and what that looks like. And when I was brainstorming with Megan and Sarah about this, we were talking about, when you first start coaching, and maybe you're there, maybe you've been coaching for less than a year, and this is newer to you, and you're starting to get into that jive. That is honestly the time that people start paying attention the most. And I feel like so often we overcomplicate things and we think that it's so hard to post at the beginning because we're scared, or we don't know what to post, or we have the fear of judgment of others. And here's what I want to say, because whether you've just started, whether you've been in this business for a year and you've maybe posted consistently most of the time, and maybe you're a coach who's been in the business for over 2 years and you're really great at being consistent with posts, but quite frankly, you're not seeing the traction that you used to see. This info that we're sharing tonight is for you, because first and foremost, Beachbody is about being on your own journey. When you sign up to be a coach, your number one priority is taking care of you and having that short story to share. So everything Sarah just talked about, I want to talk to you about this. You got to show up for you, and then you just got to talk about it. And if you stop overcomplicating it, I'm talking to myself right now too, girls, because we all overcomplicated it, okay? I've been consistent since pretty much day one because I was so excited once I started this business, and we were posting 5 times a day. And I'm going to tell you this, once I got going, it was hard for me to condense my content. And I know it's not like this for anyone, but now that we've gotten to a point where we're only posting, twice a day on Facebook and once a day on Instagram, we have to make these things count more. But stories, we get to show our whole day. We get to show every bits and piece. So instead of overcomplicating things and making it feel like it's another thing to do, wherever you're at in your business tonight, I want you to take a step back and jot these down. If you don't already have pen and paper in your hand, get them, because this is a reflection. And I promise you all, our challenge groups are proof of this. When you reflect on things, I don't care where you're at. And if you think you're really good at posting right now, I challenge you, gosh darn it, to reflect with me here. Okay? So here's my questions I have for you. Okay? I want you to even close your eyes right now if you want to. You don't have to close your eyes, but I want you to really focus in on what I'm about to ask you. Posting is about adding value to your audience, but not just to your audience, to the people who need this solution. It is not about the 1,000 people you have in your friends list on any social media platform. It's about the 10 to 5% who you're going to impact. So I want you first to imagine zoning in, funneling in on the people who your message is actually going to pertain to, because it's sure as heck not everyone. Okay? And if you want to focus on them and who you can help and who you used to be a year ago or before you started this journey, how are you going to teach them? How are you going to engage them and get them actually commenting or liking or maybe even sending you a message? How are you going to entertain them? And then inspire or encourage is, kind of one thing, but how are you going to really lift them up? And I'm going to share this with you. The key to all that is just posting every day, because you're going to teach them, you're going to encourage them, you're going to entertain them, and you're going to engage them if you show up every day. But they're not going to know what the heck you're doing if you're not doing this every day. If you only show up once in a great while, you're not going to show up in their feed. They're not really going to be interested in what you're doing, because they're like, oh, she's just showing up every once in a while, just like I do. The reason you're going to stand out is because you're showing up every day. And now I want you to answer these 5 questions after you've zoned in on your 5 people out of 1,000 or however many friends you have. There's 5 people that you could help in the next month or 2. Number 1, tell me one of these posts that you've done in the last few days. And if you haven't done it in the last few days, I want you to tell me when the last time you was that you did it. Write this down. Okay? When was the last time you taught someone? Did that happen today? Did that happen yesterday? What did you teach them? When was the last time that you engaged and asked people to respond to you in some way? And this can be on your actual post or in stories. And then I want you to tell me, when was the last time you entertained them, made them laugh, made them cry, made them think, show them a cute photo of your kids or something that you and your significant other will do on, that kind of thing. And then when's the last time you inspired them? Maybe with a before and after photo, maybe with something that you've overcame. Okay. I'm going to list these things after the call. So if you're taking your time to reflect and it's taken longer, know that you can come back to this. Okay. That's number 1. When's the last time you did each of those 4 things? Teach, engage, entertain, and either encourage or inspire for your last one. Number 2, what do people know that you're up to? And the way that you can answer this question is if you scroll back the last 4 to 5 posts on your Facebook, or you look at your grid, which is typically the last 9 photos in your Instagram. If someone came to your page who didn't know you or hadn't seen you or talked to you in a long time, what would they think about you? Honestly, the first thing that comes up when I look at my grid on Instagram is, oh, I'm a mom. Is that the main message I want people to get? Or do I want them to know that I can help them? I got to stop posting photos of my kids, people. All right. Number 3. Are you showing people the 5%, 10 to 5% that you're actually going to reach and impact? Are you showing them that you're working out daily? That's a yes or no question. Answer it. Number 4, are you showing them that you're eating better than you ever have before and the changes that you have made or that you are making? If you just started this journey and maybe you still eat the Cheetos or do whatever else that you're not supposed to do, are you letting them know that you're trying? Okay. You don't have to be perfect with your eating, but do they know that nutrition is a focus? Yes or no? And number 5, are you telling them what you struggle with and how you overcome consistently? And I say that needs to be at least 3 times a week. In your posts on Facebook, in your posts on Instagram, and, at least every 2 or 3 days in your stories. Okay? So that's your reflection recap. And I think that this right here could give you some drive and some vision as to what you can post and how you can post it, period. And the thing is, you just got to do it. No matter where you're at in your journey, you just got to do it. So if you feel really confident, like you're posting pretty darn good, what did you just reflect on that you can switch up? If you feel like you're just getting started and it's hard to get consistent with posting, my encouragement to you is to talk to your PS coach, tell them the time that you're going to post each day, how many times you're posting each day, how frequently, okay? And ask them to take maybe a bi-weekly inventory of your social media. So if you're leading a team right now, I encourage you to do this with your downline. And if you're in my downline, you're my PS, we're going to talk about it some more, okay? I just know that this is something that, Megan's my success partner, and a lot of times I'll be like, hey girl, I haven't heard you talk about that in a long time. You need to do it. And she goes and does it, and she gets a ton of engagement on it, and vice versa. And it's awesome. So your PS coach is that for you. But if you're not looking to improve on it, your PS coach isn't going to be saying, oh, hey, do you need help on your social media? That's on you. And that's what this business is. It's about independently reflecting and looking at what you need to improve on and then building on it. And it makes you a better person. And it makes you more strong in your journey. And I promise you, social media isn't scary. Social media is going to help you on your journey and going to help the 5%. You got to get that in your head. This is not for the masses. This is not for everyone that sees your social media. If they see it and scroll by it, they're not your people. If they see it and roll their eyes, they are certainly not your people. And guess what? One of my diamond coaches was the girl for almost 2 years, said she looked at me and rolled her eyes until 2 years later, she said, you just never stopped. You just never stopped. And then she showed up like a workhorse. Like we all know it's Krista, right? So shout out to you, Krista, because she was paying attention. And even though she was rolling her eyes, what I was doing inspired her, even when she didn't realize it. And I love that part of her story. And it inspires me to keep going, even when I don't feel like going. Because believe you me, especially in the last 2 weeks, there have been so many days where I do not feel like posting. But I know I need to for that 5%. I know I need to help that girl who was like me 3 years ago and overweight and depressed and just not able to get out of a rut. So I'm going to try to make this short and sweet to wrap it up. You need to make a social media plan. My suggestion, and I'd love for any of the other diamond coaches on here to talk to your downline about your suggestions too, because I think that this can, it really depends on your network. It really depends on where you're at in your business. But 2 posts a day on Facebook, an AM and a PM. For me personally, if it's before 6:45 a.m., I get more people because everybody else start posting after 7 a.m. in my network. I have a lot of teachers in my network, and that's why, because they're getting to work by 7. And I try to post at night around 8:30 p.m. And some days when I have a post that's really engaging, I'll only do 1. But again, if you're just getting started and you haven't been sharing much of your story, get 2 posts in there on Facebook. Okay? You need to get consistent with sharing your journey more than you need to get engagement. And I think that that's kind of been miscued and twisted with how many followers we have on Instagram and everything. You have to share your story, period. And it doesn't matter how many followers you have at this point. Okay? Again, that's perspective. That's personal perspective. But IG, 1 post a day. And the times can vary, but for me, it's worked if I do it before 7 a.m. or after 7 p.m. Actually, closer to 9 p.m. is working better for me on IG, okay? And I want your feed. I'm tweaking this because my feed is blowing up with my kids, and that's where I get a lot of engagement. And I'm not going to stop doing that, but I need to sprinkle in more because I'm almost 3 years into this now. So again, this is where I'm at my business, but I need to sprinkle in more. And I think we all can in our own ways. It doesn't have to be like a sweaty selfie every time for a workout, but something with our workout. And you can think about it with a sweaty selfie one time, a photo of your weights another time, a photo of, or a video of how you get through BOD another time. But your workout needs to be in there every 3rd post. A shake or nutrition. And a shake does need to be in there, but you don't want to show them Shakeology. You want to leave some curiosity where they message you and say, hey, what shake are you drinking? It sounds really yummy. Okay. And nutrition, I made a bag stir fry tonight with eggs on top. And as I was preparing my meal for myself, because my family ate before me, I flipped my egg over and I took it off of the burner. And it was a trick that my mom taught me a long time ago. When I posted about that 2 years ago, everybody was like, oh my gosh, I tried that, Lindsay, and it was the best thing ever. Don't leave your eggs on your heat after you flip them and they don't overcook. Boom! And we started talking about nutrition. Well, how often do you eat eggs? I get them in as my protein. Are you following a nutrition program? And that's how the messaging proceeded after that. Can you guys think about this? That was, okay, so this is my one dinner tonight. Another thing I used was I mixed Montreal chicken seasoning with Italian seasoning on top of my eggs and my veggies. Everybody talks about Trader Joe's stuff. I can't go to Trader Joe's on a regular basis. Yes, I can go on Amazon and buy it, but my husband gets ticks when he sees all my Amazon charges. So I'm just going to push that out and put my seasoning on my grocery bill. And I'm going to add my flair, my personality when I talk about that. I ain't got time for Trader Joe's, but let me tell you something that's real similar to everything but the bagel. I was like, this is such a good post idea. But I wrote it down in a notebook, and I'm going to do it on another day for my post. But I'm going to do it first thing in the morning about a breakfast option tomorrow. Then another thing that I looked at was the bag of stir fry. Again, these are 3 separate posts about nutrition, about one thing that I'm doing. Ladies, this does not have to be overcomplicated. And yes, in the moment, you might forget about things, and that's okay, because you're going to be on information overload when you really start looking at life as posts like I do now. But I promise you, if you start to understand, okay, there's like 5 teachable moments in this one meal that I'm doing, it's going to get easier for you. So for me, I've learned this by listening to 100 national wake-up calls and 100 different training calls where somebody has said this in one way, shape, or form or the other. But it didn't really sink in until I heard it over and over again, and it became part of who I am. So your influence, your mind focuses on what you train it to. You want to be more positive? Focus on the positive. You want to be able to post better? Don't listen to 100 trainings specifically on posting. Just show up with your team like you are tonight, or on listening to the playback like this. And you're going to get the nuggets that you need. I promise you. Don't overcomplicate it. That's my biggest advice tonight. Sorry, Megan, that was longer. But the last thing I'm going to say is, and I was going to go through it, but I'm not going to for sake of time. Your Portion Fix certification in your bod has an entire packet. I printed it off, and this is in my daily binder. I'm in the Josh Coach group, and I check off everything I'm supposed to do during the day. And this shows me all these really great posting ideas. These are posts that somebody else did. I'm just going to take a photo of a before and after from Christina Delgado, and I'm going to talk about it just like they did one day this week when I don't have time to come up with all my own content. Beachbody provides us with so many different things, and it's not in the Portion Fix nutrition program. It's in our certification program under additional resources. I'll also put this on a little recap on Soaring Strong, and I'm going to leave it right there.
Awesome. Thank
Back
you.
to you, Megan.
Thank you. I always plan on you talking longer than you are planned to, so no worries at all. Okay. Just a few takeaways from what Lindsay said. She talked about maybe ask your success club or your success partner or your PS coach for a social media inventory. If you have not done that yet, reach out to someone. Reach out to me. I don't mind. Sometimes it's easier if you don't reach out to your direct upline, or if you reach out to this person, or look at someone on this call right now and message them after the call is over and say, will you look at my social media and tell me what I need to work on? I do that all the time with different coaches within Fit Fighter Nation. Like, what do you see I'm missing? What do I need help with? What am I lacking in? It's a good outsider's perspective, so make sure you're doing that. Whenever Lindsay was talking about posting, something that just popped in my head and I thought about that I do often is I will take pictures, like multiple pictures in one day, and use those throughout the week. So if I went and got my hair done and she fixed it, then you better believe I'm taking like 20 pictures that day and changing my top. And I'm doing one sitting in my computer. I'm doing one here. I'm doing one there. And then they're in my phone and I just have them to pull from. Because like Lindsay said, there are days, and honestly, since being back from the vacation, I think a lot of it is we had so much to talk about on that cruise, and then we came back and we're like, okay, back to the real world. What do we post about now? There have been so many days where I'm like, what in the heck do I post about? Or I don't feel like taking a picture of myself today. Well, I have a whole library. And nobody knows that I took that picture last month. So make sure that you're kind of doing that to prepare yourself. The other thing I wanted to talk about was on the National Wake Up Call, and this kind of, again, it was so good today. And Lindsay kind of touched on this too. Some of her words of advice were that don't wait until you're at your perfect weight, or don't wait until you're at this point in your journey, or don't wait until you're finished with the program to start posting. That makes you so unrelatable. It is so unrelatable to try, or it's so hard to relate with someone that's already done it all and already exactly where they need to be. People want to see you struggle. They want to see you fail. They want to see you take them along on the journey. I think that was all I had. Okay, so I'm going to wrap us up here. Sarah talked about the importance of being on your own journey, and that's number one priority. And I remember when I started coaching, I think it was Julie Vorez I heard say, you don't work that power hour until you've got your workout done. And that is the truth. You have got to put you first before you put anyone else. Because if you're not on your own personal journey, you're not going to be helping anyone else. Like, you're not in that mind frame. So you've got to do that. And then Lindsay talked about bringing that to social media and the importance of showing up every day. You have to show up every day. You just have to. And I remember thinking, like, I'm probably annoying the heck out of people, that I'm showing up with a sweaty selfie. And I used to do that every single morning. I had a sweaty selfie. But you know what? Those people started coming to me because they saw that I was consistent and that I was showing up, and I wasn't just saying I was doing it. I was actually doing it. And now I'm going to talk to you for just a few minutes about your power hour. And I'm going to pull up on my phone the exact verbiage from one of the coaches on the cruise. We had one day where we had meetings and we had an elite panel, and there were elite coaches sitting up there and talking. And I wrote this down because I thought this is so true. We have for so long said that you are a discount coach if you are not working the business and you're just in it for the discount. You are a working coach, if you're working, if you're doing power hours and you're doing this and you're doing that, and then you have the full-time coach. We have all these different levels of coaching. And I'm going to do a mic drop here, and this is going to be a harsh truth bomb for some people. And I'm sorry if you take it hard, but I'm reading it. I think it was Danielle Natoni that said this. I don't remember exactly. I just remember thinking, wow, what a mic drop. And let me find this. Where is it? Her exact words were, if you are not hitting Success Club, then you are a discount coach. That was exactly what came out of her mouth. If you are not hitting Success Club, you are a discount coach. And right now, some of you might be like, oh, that hurts really bad because I'm not hitting Success Club. But that is so true. If you're not hitting Success Club, you're not working your business. You're not. But I want to kind of go into that just a little bit, because maybe some of you are sitting there right now and you're thinking, but I am working my business and I am doing the activities and I am working a power hour every day, but I'm still just not hitting Success Club. Then I want you to think about what you are doing during that hour. Because I think, and I have my PS coaches, I'm tracking their activity now. And they are checking off boxes of things that they are doing. If they're telling me they want to be successful and they want to work this business, then they're checking those boxes off and showing me that they're actually doing these activities. And I want to tell you what a power hour is not. And I'm saying this to myself too. A power hour is not commenting on other coaches' posts. That is not a power hour. You cannot get wrapped up in that. And Lindsay earlier was like, I'm so guilty of that, whenever I was kind of talking to her about what I'm going to talk about. Watching IG stories is not a power hour. You have to get your action items done first before you watch IG stories. Now, I get a lot of good content from IG stories. Danielle and Tony, and there's some other top coaches that I love stealing ideas from them, but that comes last. That's not what happens first, because watching their stories is not going to help me hit Success Club. I have to do the items on the list first. Some things that we need to do but cannot be considered part of our power hour. Your challenge group is not a power hour. Checking in with your challenge group is not part of your power hour. That just has to happen within the day. And typically for me, that happens like after my workout. Whenever I post my sweaty selfie, then I check in on everyone else. After I post my shake, then I check in on everyone else. But it's not a part of my hour of action that I am doing. Posting on social media, even though Lindsay just talked about how important it is, that's not part of your power hour. And you cannot spend an hour crafting your post. You just can't. And we've all been there. We've all done it. We're all guilty of it. I've been there where I've sat for 20 minutes trying to think about what to post. And if you find yourself sitting there thinking, what am I going to post? Just post something really quick. Do not overthink it. Don't overthink it, and don't take an hour of your day thinking about what you're going to post. Please, please, please. Your workout, even though we just said that's the most important part of this business, it's not a part of your power hour. Your power hour is when you sit down every day and you invite, and you invite more. And then you invite some more. That is what your power hour is. And I'm not going to go over all the items because I don't need to. We're all adults here and we all know exactly what we need to be doing. We have a bat. We have a tracker that tells us exactly what we need to be doing during that power hour. And that's exactly what has to happen during that power hour. And I know I'm giving you some tough love, and maybe you don't want to do those things, and maybe you don't want to move your business forward, and that is okay. It really is. But if you're a coach that is saying, I want to hit Success Club, I want to go on that trip next year, I want to be Diamond by Summit, you have to do these activities and you have to do them consistently. With that being said, I met with my PS coaches today as we do a weekly meeting, and Mimi shared, she said, most of my inviting though happens on the weekend. That is okay, because guess what Mimi's doing? She's still checking off all of those boxes. It's not just necessarily 3 invites on Monday and 3 or 5 invites on Tuesday and 5 invites on Wednesday. A lot of her inviting's happening on the weekend. I love checking off boxes too, Amber. It makes me feel so accomplished. Check off those boxes. Her inviting is mostly happening on the weekend, and she's doing those other activities during the week. As long as you're filling that bat out every day, that's okay if you need to do certain activities on certain days. But you have to be consistent with those activities. And I've heard Josh Coates say this 100 times. You are lying to your family if you are saying you are working a business and you're sitting down and you're scrolling Facebook and watching IG stories. You are lying to them. And I cannot spend time away from my kids and tell them that I'm working a business. I know, I'm pointing my finger, Lindsay. I cannot tell my kids that I am working this business and sit down here and scroll social media, because that's lying to them. And I could be spending that time with them, and I might as well spend that time with them. Whenever I sit down for an hour a day, and Amber Etheridge is there with me, I don't see anyone else on this call at our 8:30 power hour. We do one at 8:30. You can do yours whenever. I sit down and I work that hour and I'm out of there. It doesn't take me any longer than an hour because I am super intentional with that hour. And I set a timer. It is so easy to add people to our network. I could sit there for that entire hour and just add people to my network because that's a super easy thing to do. But I set my timer. I add people for 5 minutes. Okay, it's time to invite. So guess what? Now I'm going to invite for 20 minutes. Okay, it's time to do this. Set that timer if you need to. Okay, I'm going to give you some action steps that I want you to do this week, starting like right now. You have to plan your day. Number one, you have to plan your day. If I don't plan my day, my power hour usually does not get in. You have to know when you're going to work your power hour. And maybe that's pockets of time for you. Maybe when I was teaching, a lot of times that was pockets of time for me. It was 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes after I got home from work, and then 30 minutes after the girls went to bed. That's okay. I am going to give you a few minutes right now, 2 minutes to be exact. And I want you to get your calendar out. And I want you for the rest of this week to write exactly what time you're going to be working your power hour every single day. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to think about that. When are you going to fit that power hour in tomorrow? And I want you to write that time down. And I want you to do that the rest of the week. And I'm going to hold you accountable to this. So go ahead and write those down. You got 2 minutes. And if you already know when you're doing it, that's great, but put it in your calendar. I want it in your calendar just like it's a doctor's appointment that you're showing up to. Lindsay shared hers in the Strand. If you have time and you want to do that, that is totally okay. If you don't want to do that, that's okay too. $5 a.m. club. Whew. Love you girls. So I run a power hour at 8:30 a.m. And I know that's not convenient for everyone, but I worked my butt off to be able to do an 8:30 power hour. So now that I do this full time, I can do an 8:30 power hour. But if you are home and you do want to join me at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, then you can. You're more than welcome to. There's about 5 of us that are on there every day. And what's awesome about being on a live power hour is you can ask questions. If you have someone that responds or says something you don't know what to do, there's a group of people there that you can ask help with. Okay, go ahead and finish that up. Get those in there. I am on the Soaring Strong team page tomorrow going to post a power hour check-in. When you get done with your power hour, check in and say that you've got it completed. Take a picture of your bat, whatever you need to do. We are all grown-ups here. I don't need you to send me a picture every single day. You know what needs to be done to be successful in doing that power hour. So if you just need to say done, that's good. I believe you. I believe that you did the activities that were needed to be done for the day. And then if you all want to use the Soaring Strong team page as kind of a challenge group, and when you get your power hour done, go there and post it. That is totally okay too. You can use it there if you need that accountability. I know when I started coaching, I needed that accountability. Erin never asked to see anything, but I sent it to her because it just made me feel like here you go, I got it done, like I was turning in an assignment to someone. So whatever you need to do to make that happen. I know I dropped some truth bombs on you tonight. I know that I really dropped this is what you need to do. And I hope that it's what you needed to hear. And I hope that it's not got anyone like upset and mad that I dropped these truth bombs, but instead I hope that it's going to give you a reality check as to what you need to be doing. If you are just here for the party and just here to hang out with the team and just here to have fun, that's okay. That's okay to have your business in that spot. But like that coach said on the cruise, you cannot consider yourself a working coach if you are not actually working, and you're not working unless you're hitting Success Club and doing those activities every day or at least 5 days a week. We had a Josh Coates call this morning. I kind of already shared this with my PS coaches, but I want to share it with you just to end this call. And he talked about fear. And I think that's what's holding a lot of us back is that fear. And his exact terminology was, society has taught us not to stand out. And how true is that? We have been taught not to stand out. We have been taught, don't send that message because that's going to bother that person. Don't post that sweaty selfie because that's drawing attention to yourself. We are coaches, and we need to stand out because there are people out there that are depending on us for us to send them that message, for us to post that sweaty selfie. For 4 years it took Sarah to join me, or however long, 4 years, and me posting those workouts before she was like, gosh, she's not going to give up. Like, she is consistent. She is doing this thing before she said yes. There are people out there that are watching you. You cannot stand back. You have to stand out. We simplified it for you tonight. You do your workouts and drink your shakes. You post about them, and you work an hour a day. And if you want to be successful in this business, that's all you have to do. And I know we're making it sound easy, but that's because it is. It is easy if you're doing the activities. And if you need help and you're feeling stressed out, reach out to your PS coach and ask them for help. We are in this together. We are doing this together. All right, guys, thank you so much. I know this call ran really late, but we had so much to share. Thank you for showing up. I know we all have insanely crazy busy lives, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.